Hello, hello everyone. Good morning and happy Monday. I'm so excited to do a card pull for you guys. There we go. That's better. So I need to get some new decks. What do you guys think? I'd love to know, what are your favorite decks, card pull decks that you'd like me to pull from that aren't too future casty, but have more of the I'm not really into the fortune telling vibe, but I definitely am into the like super attractor, the universe has your backs or affirmation decks. And hello everyone who is hopping on here. So I'd love to know, what are your favorite decks and what would you like me to start pulling from, because I need to order some more because I do tend to pull from the same ones. Hey Tasha. And then today I did decide to pull from the super attractor deck. I absolutely love Gabby Bernstein and I'm really feeling into this. And while I am shuffling shuffling the deck to pull our group card, I want to get you guys really excited about a training that I'm going to be doing on Wednesday, and it is all about setting healthy boundaries and how to protect your energy with friends and with family, because I just realized I'm very, very good at this, and I have my own series of tools, and I really supported my clients in this as well. It's a big thing that many of us weren't taught, and I find myself even this weekend feeling exhausted because I set the healthy boundaries with certain people, but then there's new people that I need to set the healthy boundaries with as well, and I just didn't. And then I start my Monday, I'm feeling like tired and a little bit exhausted because I didn't give myself my Sunday to rest, which is my only day I have to rest. And I let other people take advantage of that time when I needed to really use that time for myself. And so I'm sharing that because everybody runs into this, right? Where we're just feeling like we're smeared across our schedule. Yeah, Tasha said the same thing, me too. 4th of July weekend, it's all of the things, but if that's, Sunday is my free day where I get to just do me and like drink water and sleep in, but I'm not able to because it's a holiday weekend, we start the week off just being like, oh, so exhausted. So I have this, our Wisdom Drop Wednesday training this week is going to be about setting healthy boundaries and then also protecting your energy with family and friends because we love them so much. Like, how do we nicely say, I don't have time for this conversation, or I don't have, I'm unavailable for you to speak to me that way? Like, how do we do that? And so sorry, I wanted my hair to be a little bit more frisky for you guys, but it is what it is, so we're just gonna deal with it. Again, it's been a wild weekend. Okay, so hey Alex, I see you on here. So Alex, if I may, I'm gonna do a group card, but if you give me permission, I'd love to pull a card for you. Alex made this and helped me make this amazing, for Presley's first birthday, so that was like 5 years ago, this amazing collage of pictures of all of her pictures of when she was 1 year old and up until that point, and it's so beautiful, and I still have that hanging in Presley's room. She loves it. She doesn't have very many pictures in there because she likes to have drawings instead, but she loves that. Okay, perfect. Here is our group card. And then Alex, if I may, I'll only do this if I have your permission. I'm going to pull this one out because I can feel it for you too. Okay, I can't see it yet. All right, let's see our group card today. Hey, I feel like we pulled this one already. Perfect. Alex says yes, and she loves it. And Denise says, good morning, my friends. So this is for the group. It says, instead of worrying about the future, I know all is well when I am aligned in the moment. Instead of worrying about the future, I know that all is well when I'm aligned in the moment. You know what? I started this out about setting healthy boundaries, which is very, very important for us to do. But I found myself like last night kind of freaking out, and I was like, I have so much to do tomorrow. I have this and this and this and this and this. Like, this is my only day to rest, and I used it to help everybody else and to be present for everybody else. And you know what? It just brings us back to, don't worry about the future. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about the things on our to-do list. Like, when we are aligned within and we can trust and know that everything happens and happens in divine perfect timing, like obviously, like I'm the one who always says this to everybody else, and I'm hearing it for myself too. But instead of worrying about it, just know that our responsibility is to be aligned in the moment. And we are aligned in this moment, then we can maximize it, and then we can make a more educated and a more well-rounded and intuitive step moving forward of what that next right step is going to be. So encouraging you guys, if you're feeling worried about what's going to happen, oh my gosh, like Kanye West, I think, said he's going to run for president. I don't know where you're going to stand on that. This is not a political channel, but what the 2020. I don't even know what this is about, so don't worry about it. Our job is to stay aligned in the moment. And hey, Noelle and Caitlin, my sweet friends, thanks for joining me today. And what would it look like to stay aligned in the moment? Okay, here's an example. This morning I really wanted to do a workout, but I ran out of time because I had to drop Presley off, then I came here and kind of got ready, and then here I am, and then I have back-to-back clients, and I was like, I didn't make time for my workout. When are we going to work out? And if we're not working out, we're not exercising our body, then we're aging, and they were telling our bodies that, what are the silly things in my head? It is true that if we're not working out, you tell your bodies that you want to live a sedentary lifestyle, and so you're sitting, and then your body doesn't need to have strong bones. It doesn't need to be nimble, because you're telling it that since you're not working out, it doesn't need the efforts needed to work out. Does that make sense? So here I am in my little head, and I'm like, I haven't been able to do. It's like, no, stop. So an example is maybe in between clients, I do a 10-minute workout. It could be 10 minutes, right? Maybe you can fit in 10 minutes of your day. Maybe it's 5 minutes of breath work. Maybe you can do more than that. And Felicia says, good morning, friend. Hello, my beautiful people. So how and what other ways can we be aligned in the moment, even like sipping your water with confidence and knowing and infusing it in your hands, just thinking about what you want to create during the day and what intention that you want to infuse it with during, what intention you want to set for your day, and then infusing that into the water and then sipping it slowly. Maybe that's something that you do to align in the moment. Maybe it is a workout. Maybe it's like, I'm going to sit outside and do nothing but stare at the birds and hear their song and listen to what it is that they have to say. So encouraging you guys for that. All right, so Alex, if you're first here, this is your card. Oh, beautiful. Oh, upside down. Here we go. I let an inner sense of quiet multiply each day as I strengthen my faith in the love of the universe. I let an inner sense of quiet multiply each day. An inner sense of quiet. There have been so many things during these retrogrades and during just everything that's happened in 2020 where I have not wanted to sit in silence, where I felt uncomfortable, and I had an experience this weekend too. I'm sure it's going to come up as part of the card pull, but I had this experience where I was second guessing myself, but I know I did the right thing, and I had to keep telling myself, I did the right thing, I did the right thing, I did the right thing. And even though it was kind of embarrassing, and I will share the story with you guys, but the moral of the story is I didn't want to sit with the feelings. I didn't want to sit with the emotions. I didn't want to sit with what did other people think? What were other people saying? Why were they looking at me that way? I didn't want to sit with it. And so I was avoiding it all day. And it wasn't going away. So I finally had to. And before I went to bed, I just put my hand over my heart. And I was like, I did the right thing. And I had to feel it. I had to feel their judgment and then dismiss it. It's okay if they felt that way, but I did the right thing. It's okay if they thought it was dramatic. I did the right thing. And I just had to go through each emotion, say hello to it, and then let it go, let it go, let it go. And that's what this kind of represents, is I let an inner sense of quiet multiply each day. Let it multiply, and it will strengthen your faith in love and in the universe. And I'll tell you guys a story. And so let me know, Alex, if this resonates with you, because I know that you've got kids. And hey, Cheryl and Cassie. So Presley and I, we went to a friend's place. She has an apartment, and they had a swimming pool. Well, Presley doesn't know how to swim, and I'm not a huge water person. I know how to swim, but I'm just not a huge water person, so she doesn't really get to go. She started swimming recently, but she was really excited to be in the water. She has the floaties that come across here, and they have little arms. So she was totally safe. And the spark notes of this is she was with two little girls who are super sweet, but they're very, very good swimmers. They don't need floaties because they're very confident swimmers and they go all the time. They had Presley on this little raft, and they were floating into the end of the pool, which happened to be 5 feet. Presley's on the raft. The other kids are kind of hanging off. They're trying to get on. It kind of looks like it might tip over, and Presley's terrified. She does not like to get her face in the water at all. So she's balancing like this, and I can see that she's nervous, and I'm watching her. I'm on land, and I'm watching her. I'm like, it's good for her to feel these emotions, right? I'm not going to protect her in that moment. It's okay for her to feel uneasy. She is safe even if she falls in. I'm watching. One of the girls gets onto the floaty, and she tips it over. Presley goes into the water. Now I know that she's completely safe, but so I see her go in. I see her pop up. And what triggered me is she was like this, and she didn't make a sound. And so I don't even know what happened. Mama Bear kicked in, I walked to the side. When I saw her tip over, I already was standing up. I don't even know how this happened, but I was like walking to the edge of the pool, and I watched to see what her reaction was when she was swimming, and she was clearly in a panic. So I jump in. Luckily, I was in my bathing suit. I just had my hat on. But I like jump in and go over to her, and I pick her up, and right before I get her, she screams. Like, if you've ever been in so much shock that you're not screaming, you can't even talk, you can't say anything. That's how Presley was. She's like, and then she finally like let out this howl. And so I held her, and she was shaking, and I like walked her to the side, and I turned around, and I was like, baby, it's okay. Like, you're safe. And she was crying. She was so scared. And I was like, I know. And anyways, when I got out, I calmed her down, and I was like, great, congratulations, yay, you got your face wet. Great, Cassie, this is my first live, and I would love a card, absolutely. And so with the story, I held her until she was calm, and then I was like, let's celebrate, you got in the water, you were so strong, you were so brave and courageous. She's like, I wasn't strong, I was so scared. Anyway, so once I calm her down, I get out of the pool, and this is a pool in an apartment. Like, there are quite a few people around. No one said anything. It was this walk of shame almost, and I was like, did I overreact? Did I not overreact? What did I do? And I felt embarrassed. And the mom that I was with, she's great. You know, she's really used to her kids, like, hey, you can go swim. But she didn't say anything. And I kind of wish I had someone to be like, good job, mama. Like, you did the right thing. Because I know I did the right thing. And the reason is I will never, my daughter, it's okay for her to be scared. Like, to be scared, like, on the raft. You know, I'm like, it's okay. Like, that's fine. But when she's in there and she's in a panic, I will not let my daughter be scared alone. And there's so many moments in my own life where I've been terrified alone. Cancer. I went through cancer alone. I didn't tell anybody because cancer wasn't a thing then. It was just like, oh, you have this illness and you had to be ashamed of it. And so, like, cancer alone, being a single mom alone, like all these things alone, it was like in that moment, I will not let my daughter, even if I know she's safe, I will not let her be that scared and terrified alone. So I jumped in, and then I was feeling like self-conscious of, did I overreact because my hat came off and Presley screamed, was I a bad mom for letting her go that far, and all of these things. I could still feel it. Anyways, I didn't want to sit with those emotions. And sometimes we don't want to if something hurts and if something is uncomfortable. But when we tune into that sense of quiet and we let it multiply each day, it strengthens us and our choices and our connection with our intuition, the reminder that we are doing the right thing. So hopefully that story resonated with you, because it was a really big thing that shook me up hardcore. Yes, and I asked Presley on the ride home, and I'll pull this one for you, Cassie. I asked Presley on the drive. Whoop! Look at that, just popped right out. Okay, it fell right out. I was like, honey, did mommy do the right thing? Like, do you like that mommy jumped in there and protected you, or like, you know, grabbed you? Did you want me to do that, or would you rather have just like swam by herself? And keep in mind, Presley's never puts her face in the water. It's her second time ever in a pool, ever in her entire life in 5 years. So it was a big deal. And she's like, I'm really glad that you were there, mommy. I needed you there. And I was like, okay. My whole deck is upside down, apparently. Here we go. Okay, this one is for you, Cassie, and it says, I'm in awe of the magnificent guidance that is available to me and to you. I am in awe of the magnificent guidance that is available to me. I love this card because I would always say, especially, you guys know I'm classically trained as a psychic, but I never really had any connection with angels. And I would say I don't do angel work, like I don't really do mediumship. It doesn't make me feel comfortable because it just doesn't, personal reasons for that. But in angels, I was like, I don't do angel readings. Like, people are like, what are my angels saying? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know if I believe in angels. And this is like in my early stages of even having psychic gifts, but not knowing, you know, how to communicate with angels or really having a lot of experience with that. And now I am all about it. And Gabrielle Bernstein's book, actually, it's Super Attractor. Really highly, highly, highly recommend. And she talks about how she uses her angels. And that was actually a really big eye-opener for me of, oh, this is how I can use it without going off the deep end and feeling like I'm too crazy. Because some people, they're not crazy. Everybody has their own things. But sometimes how they talk about angels or they talk about guidance, it just feels like it's a little bit too much for me. And I'm like, I don't really resonate with it. But Gabby Bernstein and I like share a brain. We're on the same wavelength with that. So I would definitely recommend for you guys to pick out that book. And this is obviously like, you know, perfect timing because this is where the deck is coming from. But to be in awe of the guidance that is available to you. What I've realized, I've always tried to work so hard and do more to be more and get recognized more and blah, 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 all of that. Why do we make it so hard if we have guides, if we have angels? And I'd love to know, do you guys resonate with that? Do you guys believe in that? Do you guys connect with your angels? What does that look like? And for me, I remember in psychic school, when I went to the Psychic Institute, they would talk about having your healing master or your guide go and ground your car, which would mean while we were in class, we would have our, I believe they described it as that our healing master was the one they had us use to go ground our car, which basically what that would do is they would have us like put a grounding cord on our car and kind of like a golden ball of light and protection around it. So that way when I walked to my car at night, because I was taking later classes at like 9 o'clock at night, when I walked to my car, I would be protected. And same thing with like have them go ground your house. So put a golden ball of light around your home and then a grounding cord connected to the base of the home. So anything that is icky, unhealthy, will just flow right down that grounding cord. So by the time that I get there, the house will be grounded and protected. So I encourage you guys to do that too, because I do it all the time. Even like Presley right now, she's at preschool. So you betcha she's got a golden ball of light around her that I've already put there and a little grounding cord. So even if she gets hurt or her feelings get hurt, she has her own autonomy and her own ability and she has her own golden ball of light. But mommy's kind of making sure too, so she's protected. And for my husband, he rode his motorcycle to... oh my gosh. We live pretty far in we live kind of like in the mountains in Galena, if you guys are in Reno, and his work is all the way in Midtown. And I was like, that's a long drive. You betcha. On his motorcycle, we're going to put that golden ball of light around him so he's protected. But the golden ball of light is like, have our guides do it. Have your angels do it. We don't have to work so hard. We don't have to do everything ourselves. We don't even have to worry. We can surrender that up to the angels and the guides, to the universe, holy God, creator, source, whatever feels good for you. And that guidance is available to you. So if you are having a writer's block, right, to say, okay, please let it flow into my conscious likeness as I'm sleeping, as I'm meditating, please clear this block. Like if you're feeling deep, deep pain in your chest, like for the example with Presley in the pool, right, where I was like questioning myself, like I know I did the right thing and I stand firm in that, but I was like, angels, take it away, like this feeling in my chest that of like other people's judgment and I should have been ashamed for jumping into the pool, like please just take this away and leave me with the lesson of whatever it is that is meant for me, right? What a healing tool that you have access to. That guidance is available to you. If you, what are my next step? Am I meant to be with this person? Am I not meant to be with this person? Is this the next step in my business or is it not? Please reveal it to me. If this is an absolute yes, please show me the image of a blank, right? You get to pick your symbol. I know Gabby Bernstein loves owls. For me, I tend to see feathers a lot. Oh my gosh. I have a huge goal in my business, and I'll share it here because I feel that talking about money needs to be, you guys need to talk about money. We shouldn't be afraid of it. It shouldn't be a thing we're ashamed of. But also it's a big one, but I have this huge goal of a 50K month in my business. And I was like, okay, this is my next huge, like astronomical goals, because you guys know I like to manifest big, big, big things. And then as I was driving the other day, I saw a black and white sticker that said 50K. And it was for somebody who ran races, apparently. And it said 50K. And I was like, that's my sign. Like, we're doing this. We're pushing for this. This is like our next goal and direction. Because income is a direct reflection of the amount of people who I get to help. The amazing men and women, well, primarily women, that I get to support in my business. And then another thing, I was reading this book, right? This guidance is available to you. So I'm sharing this as an example for how symbols will show up for you. If you ask for a sign, you ask for a symbol, it will show up in a really, really cool way for you. So the 50K, there's that. The other one is, I'm reading this book. I have a post that's scheduled to come out tomorrow or on Thursday, and it's called Untamed, and the author's name is Glennon Doyle, and she's talking about Tabitha the cheetah, and you guys will definitely have to read it. Highly recommend. But Tabitha the cheetah and how she's in captivity and she like chases this beat up old bunny right down the path and everyone gets to like, ooh, she's so fast. But then you're questioning like, but Tabitha the cheetah is meant to be free. She's meant to be untamed. And so that's how she kind of opens the book. And as I'm reading this book, she's talking about us as women and remember who we are. She's like, she said, Tabitha, yeah, basically remember who you are, you're a goddamn cheetah. And then I pull out a piece of paper, because I was cleaning out my garage, a piece of paper from my cousin that she had done like 10 years ago. She wrote a letter to Tabitha, the tooth fairy. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm reading, the audiobook is about Tabitha, this is about Tabitha. And I was like, this is a sign, like this book is meant for me, but this is also a next level of, content that I'm going to be consuming and then translating for you guys too. So that's an example of like asking for signs. That guidance is always available to you. Stand in awe. But what we have to do is be available for it, right? I could say, oh, that's a coincidence. Oh, whatever. Or I can say, thank you. My friend Sarah, she's like, okay, now it's getting weird, because she was saying angel number after angel number after angel number. And it's like, yeah, listen, the guidance is available to you. What does it feel like when you see those angel numbers? What does it feel in your heart? Beautiful. Cassie says, wow, I love this. Great. Okay, so Tasha, I saw that you would like a card as well. Sweet, sweet Tasha. Hey, I get to see you today. It just popped up in my calendar. I'm seeing a lot of blue for you. Where is that coming from? Throat chakra work. But before I say that, I see like throat chakra stuff, which I feel like you've really been working on. But I also see like the ease of the ocean, like the push and the pull and the steadiness of the ocean, which I love. Oh, hey, look it. Here's blue. Here's blue too. I think Presley got into these and maybe they're all upside down. I can do less and attract more. All these cards are piggybacking on each other, which I love, about how having the angels and the guides support you in whatever it is that you want to do or to achieve or to attract, right? I love that. But I can do less and attract more. When I know about you, Tasha, for sure, that Tasha is a powerhouse. You do all the things. You've got 2 boys. First of all, anyone who's a boy mom, I know you get like a run for your money, even though your boys are super duper sweet. And I see them all in their little videos and stories. But permission to do less and attract more. And sometimes productivity can feel like a measurement of our worthiness. Productivity, how busy we are, is a direct relationship to how much we're accomplishing. And wow, look at her, she's so busy. Oh my gosh, I know, you're so busy. And it's like this weird badge of honor that we have. But what if we chose to enjoy life more and do more of what we do less, so we can be more of who we be, right? And what would that look like? What can we shave off? So those are some things that I've done personally. Is I have what can I cut out of my day that creates stress? Or we did the training last week about a stress versus a stressor, and how there are things that there's a stressor, like maybe it's going to work, and then there's a stress that you feel that you carry with you when you go home. So what can we do what stressors can we eliminate, right? Even if it's like, oh my gosh, like grocery shopping is so crazy now because everyone wears masks and they're kind of grumpy, like the checkers are grumpy. You can't see if anybody's smiling at you. It's kind of weird. Okay, well we can do the grocery app. It's not Uber Eats, but they like deliver the groceries for you, and then you're supporting some small business. Like that's great. It allows us to do more, right? And then we're going to do less so we can attract more. We can be in that higher vibration versus like going to the grocery store and being like, man, I feel zapped. That's been my experience recently. I just want to smile at everybody, and they can kind of tell. But I feel like I'm not getting those smiles back, and that was one of my favorite parts of going to the grocery store, is making best friends with everybody. So this is your reminder today. I can do less and attract more. And then Chloe, it's so beautiful for everybody, especially in a world where we are taught to do all of the things. And then Chloe, this one is for you. And I see a really bright burst of pink. Where is that coming from? Like little sparkles of pink. I see 2 cards. Okay, I'm pulling 2. I'm going to pull this one first. Oh, look at those sparkles of pink. Pew, 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 pew. And Tasha says, I love it. I'm excited to see you. Yay. It says, I release time and I let the universe show me what to do. I release time and I let the universe show me what to do. Another lesson, right? I teach these things and do these card pulls because I need it too. A great affirmation if you are feeling like you're out of time and you're feeling like there's so much to do and like I have to do it all, right? Number 1, what can we cut out? What can we do less of it so we can attract more? What guidance is available to us, right? Also, do we need to face the silence to heal some things before we can move through whatever pattern that we're in, to move through and and break through whatever block that is at our edge? Do we need to move through the silence? And multiply, let the inner sense of quiet multiply each day to really tune in. And do we need to release worry, right? And all of that can be combined in time. Because for me, it's like I don't have the time to worry. I don't have the time to focus on this. I don't have the time to do these things. I feel like I'm running out of time. But what if we chose a different belief, and that different belief was the universe expands time for me? Like, she always has my back, and the universe expands time for me. This also ties into the class that I'll be doing on Wednesday, which is about setting healthy boundaries and also protecting your energy, because there are certain tools that are really, really helpful for protecting our energy so we can enjoy the vastness and the abundance that is available to us during our day and not be affected or dragged down by the to-dos or by the people. A lot of times it's the people. Like, we can handle the to-dos, but it's like the people and sometimes the snide comments or like those experiences. So I release time and I let the universe show me what to do. And I feel like this is one of the hardest things to do, is to really go deep, sit in the silence. It's going to feel uncomfortable sometimes. And just like I was describing with that experience at the pool with Presley, right? It's like, what is the feeling that came in? And say, okay, I'm going to look at it now. I see you. Like, I honor you and thank you for showing me what I need to heal. And now I choose to release. Oh, I see you too. That really sucks. Okay. Okay, what's the lesson? And you just like let it go. Like, it's going to feel uncomfortable, but give yourself the time. Allow yourself the time. The universe will expand time for you in those moments to heal what needs to be healed, and also for you to hear what the universe is guiding you to do. Because sometimes it's not very fast, and I get frustrated because I'm like, let me know now. I have 10 minutes, okay? Okay, why didn't you tell me? Like, I don't understand. It didn't come through yet, right? So know that it's going to trickle in, and just as we had talked about the guidance that's available to you, we can ask for signs and for symbols to support us in that guidance, because sometimes it's not always right away and it's not always super direct, but the universe always has your back, and she's here to show you what to do. Beautiful. Hi, Marissa. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so those are our card pulls, but I do have one other one. So Chloe, this one is for you, but I feel like it might be for the group, so I'll let you guys see it too. It says, wanting more for others puts me into the energy of abundance. Wanting more for others puts me into the energy of abundance. This is something that is really important for all of us to tap into. When you see somebody else, what thoughts do you think about them? And I've really had to work through this of, I would see somebody and they would be driving a nice car, or they would have their lashes done. Not really lashes, because I've outgrown it since then, but definitely like a nice car, or they had really nice Louis Vuitton purse or something. And rather than saying, good for her, that looks cute. I didn't know that style of purse existed. I'm glad that I got to see it today. Rather than having that kind of positive perspective, which I will now, I would say, she probably has a rich husband. I bet she's broke as shit, and she's just fucking buried in credit card debt, and I would just tear these people apart. And then I'd say things like, well, the reason why she has those lip injections is because she's so fucking insecure, she can't even stand to look at herself in the face. Like, that used to be me, you guys. It's crazy. And I've evolved in my mindset and my thinking, but I'm certainly not wanting more for others. And that certainly was not allowing abundance to fly in, but to come into my life, right? Like, we have to want more for others. We have to tune into our gratitude for them, send them love. And whenever I notice myself, if my manifestation is happening a little bit slower, sometimes I can tell I'm focusing on myself, which is totally normal. We have to do that, right? We have to focus here. But sometimes I notice that I will get distracted and I'll be focusing too much on me and my plans and my goals and my this and my that, versus, who can I serve today? Who can I help? Who can I reach out to and just give a bear hug and say, hey, sister, I'm thinking about you and I just want to send you so much love. How can I, and then also wanting more for others, right? Like, this is something that I've definitely worked through. Hi, Andrea. Too, of being coming through a lot of trauma, and like being a single mom on WIC. Like, there's a part of me that doesn't want to think about the other moms who are on WIC, because it's like, I made it through. I don't want to think about it anymore. Like, I feel like my life gets to be different. But what a power that I have to be able to love on them and to be able to support them and be able to say, hey, I want to create a charity for these women. I want to go to a women's shelter because I know what that experience is like. And that's wanting more for others. And when we do that, we're giving. When we give, we receive. And that's not a manipulative thing, right? Same with like the universe or God. It's like, you don't have to prove yourself to God in order to be worthy of love. Like, you don't have to prove yourself and like give. So like, okay, do I receive now? That's not what it is. If you're coming from that space, then we're obviously out of alignment, right? But this is a beautiful card of wanting more for others puts us into the energy of abundance. Because if we don't want more for others, then we're obviously come from a place of lack. Most often, a place of lack or a wounded space, which is the example I gave you in the beginning where I was like tearing these people apart, right? And oh my gosh, like, I'm not going to tell you what platform it is because I hope none of you guys look me up, but like I have this old social media platform and it's like, bitches hate me because they ain't me. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was not wanting more for others. I was very trapped in my own ego and we have to grow out of that. All right. Hey, Stella. Hey, I'm so happy that you're on here, sister. I see Andrea too. Okay, Stella, I would love to pull a card for you. Whoops. You guys should definitely check out Stella too. She's so fantastic and she drops a lot of amazing content about health and wellness and anxiety and stress. And she is a doctor. She's worked really hard to gain and gather this knowledge and she does a great job packaging it too. I love it. So you should check out her profile too. This one is for you, sweet sister. Ooh, yeah. I believe I am worthy of feeling good. I believe that I am worthy of feeling good. And this reminds me of all things. I believe I'm worthy of feeling good. If yoga makes you feel good, just an example. If yoga makes you feel good, but you feel like you don't have time in the day to do it because you have to do this and this and this, guess what? You are worthy of feeling good. Do the freaking yoga. If you want to buy, like Moon Magic, okay? Moon Magic is this great, you should definitely look it up. It's a company that sells like kind of like raw crystals. They're so beautiful, but they are like $100. They're like $87, $100, a little bit some are way more than that, like $707 or something. They are very, very expensive. They can be higher, for jewelry. I'm like a Claire's girl, like I get really good stuff from Claire's. And anyways, I really wanted this ring. It was so cute and it was $100 even on sale. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I could invest that in my assistant, or I could use that for gluten-free treats for Presley's lunch. Like I have my own lack mindset that I'm always working through because you guys got to remember, like I did not come from wealth at all. And I was like, no, it makes me feel good and I am worthy of fucking feeling good. Buy the rings, buy yourself the fucking lilies, like do what makes you feel good. And there's a balance between doing it frivolously and we're like, oh, I'm going to do this and this and this and this versus like if getting a pedicure makes you feel good and raises your vibration, do it. If getting a massage makes you feel good, do it. Yes. And Stella says everyone is worthy of feeling good. You know what I love about that comment, Stella, is because that's like your heart. It's totally your heart. It's so inclusive and talking about everyone. I feel that's what Stella teaches. That's what you teach, my sweet sister, is you're like, you teach about everybody deserves to feel anxiety free and depression free and supported and at home in their bodies. Yes, I believe that I'm worthy of feeling good. And so let's make sure that we're really filling our cup with that too. What are some things that make me feel good as examples for you? So obviously, like I bought the ring. It was like $100. It's actually too big because I can't wear it because it keeps like spinning off my finger. But that is a great, beautiful example. Sitting outside and reading a book in the sunshine and just turning your phone off or on Do Not Disturb. If that makes you feel good, do it. You deserve it. You absolutely deserve that. I love it. Stella says, absolutely. Oops, sorry guys. And Carrie, okay, awesome. So I'm going to do one more, or Morgan's on here too. I am going to pull one more card. Oh, Andrea, there you are. There you are. And I think it's Marissa. You said that these were very, very helpful for you. So I'm so glad. They said I got a little bit wiped out this weekend. I was like, do I want to do a card pull? Yes, I will. Because there's so much gold that comes through here, even if our energy is a little bit low. Okay, Andrea, this one is for you. It says, ooh, My greatest spiritual shifts, they don't come through force. They come through freedom. My greatest spiritual shifts don't come through force. They come through freedom. The universe works really fast when we're having fun. And oftentimes we don't allow ourselves to have fun. Who has time for that? We've got jobs and house cleaning and organizing and, lives. So who has time for fun? Like, that has been my mindset. And as a recovering workaholic, it's something I'm still working on. So maybe you're experiencing that too. And I know for you too, Andrea, you are an extremely hard worker in your household and in your career, and you hustle, you flow, you align, you do all the things. And so I encourage you to take a peek at where do we find our freedom? And I just had a conversation with this with the mom who I went to the pool with. And we were talking about being an entrepreneur, and I was like, yeah, like when you're an entrepreneur, you have all the freedom and none of the freedom because you don't have a 9 to 5. Like, you literally work all the time. And so if you guys are feeling that way, like, say you have even a child, right? But if you have 2 or 3, or I know people have 4 kids, like, even if the work day is done, it's not done. You have laundry and cleaning and bedtimes and all of these things to do. So where can we find our sweet little piece of freedom, our little moment of freedom that we can tap into that's really going to make us feel aligned and wholesome and taste what we so desire? Sometimes when we'll sit maybe on a beach chair, or you'll just lay on the couch, when you close your eyes before you go to bed at night and you think about what your life wants to feel like or look like, there's usually some sort of freedom, right? Like, you're like, oh, I wish my debt was paid off. Financial freedom, right? Like, I wish I had this really nice sports car, or this really nice Tesla, or whatever it is, right? We're using as examples. That represents financial freedom also, but it's also freedom to buy whatever freaking car you want because you have the financial freedom to do it, right? Maybe it's like, I wish I had more time for self-care, to work out or get a massage. Like, what you're looking for is freedom. So how can we create little moments, bite-sized moments of freedom in our day, every day? What would that look like? How can you create it? Because that's where your greatest spiritual shifts are going to come from, not through force, not through the grind, not through the constant hustle, because actually that will block us to a lot. We'll get a lot done, but it's kind of like the wheel, right? Like, I can drag something and muscle through it. Or I can create a wheel and then put 2 wheels on it, and now I can pull it much easier. Like, the end result is the same, but when you call on your spiritual tools, you basically put wheels on, so it's way easier to carry that. And so we're releasing the force, the hustle, the grind, but instead we're leaning more into intention and flow and alignment. And that is where the freedom comes from. So that is a wrap for all of us today. There you go. Oh yeah, she says, my word that keeps coming up for me for weeks is freedom. Yes, and I would encourage you, in what areas do you feel a little bit locked up in your life, right? Is that with your health, with your fitness, with your relationships, with your leisure time, with anything? How can we bring more freedom into your life? Because the more, if we have, like attracts like. So if we have more freedom and we do things that make us feel more free, even if it's just riding your bike and taking your hands off the handlebars, that's a moment, and a bite-sized, delicious moment of freedom. Even if it's chasing your child who's naked in the backyard, and they're like, no, you can't get me. It's this bite-sized, delicious moment of freedom where you can't help but laugh. Take and absorb and honor more of those moments in your life, because like attracts like, and the more times you experience that, the higher your vibration, the more abundance you can kind of catch into your sail, if that makes sense. So with that, I wish you guys an amazing day full of amazing things. And Vicky, I see you on here too. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you on Wednesday for our training all about setting healthy boundaries and protection for you and your family, and how to support yourself, especially in social situations, so you don't feel completely exhausted and you can show up in your best and highest voltage. So love you guys so much. Have a great night, day, life, all the things, and I'll talk to you soon.